Hello, everybody, and welcome to BCBuckets mock draft for the 2024 NBA draft. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, the big day is almost here. We're recording this on Saturday, June 22nd. Draft obviously on Wednesday. People are starting to lock in their boards, their mock drafts, all the above. I feel like all the intel, quote unquote, has settled down, and now we're getting ready for the draft. So. You're gonna have the odd numbers. I'm gonna have the even numbers. Uh, Colin is a Pistons fan, so I wanted to give him the fifth pick. I'm a Spurs fan, so that's why I wanted the fourth and eighth pick.
It's really good that we've been so bad the last couple of years that we keep falling on even and odds because we've been in the lottery. So this is good.
Yeah, good. So with that being said, I mean, I think we can just jump right into it. I guess Shane, quick plug if you haven't already, we have videos up. I think of basically the entire probably top 30 players. I think we have 32 players covered in our videos or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out those if you want in depth. Also, we're gonna have a video on our big board coming out as well. So we'll go into the players in more detail on that. This is more about the team selecting and like the fit and what they need, from pick to pick. So with that being said, Colin, let me share my screen and get Fanspo up. And you are on the clock for the Atlanta Hawks at pick number 1.
Atlanta Hawks. I'm just gonna go with number one on my big board. Currently is Alex Sarr. I think that's a guy who fills. Yeah, scroll up to the top there.
Sorry.
This is ESPN's order, by the way, for the big board.
Yeah.
Oh, it says right there. I think he just kind of fills a need that they have, and with them not having really made any trades yet or done anything so far this offseason, that's the guy I'm picking.
Yeah, obviously it's from my perspective, I would pick Alex Sarr for the Hawks as well. I just think he makes a ton of sense, like positionally and the fit with what they need. I've always liked this pick for the Hawks. Now, as we approach draft day, it seems like he's not going to be the pick, and they're going to go with either Klingon or Ricochet. Obviously, they've hosted everybody for workouts. They have a lot of preferences, or they've seen them a lot of times in person. But to me, I just don't know. I think I would rather have Klingon maybe than Ricochet. I'm not super high on Klingon, but the Hawks not picking Sarr here doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Unless they got something cooking, which they might. So
maybe,
yeah.
But there's Alex Sarr with the number 1 pick to the Hawks. Number 2, the Washington Wizards. This one's tough to me because I would have loved Sarr at 2, which I think is going to happen in real life on the draft. I think Gavoni has said that the Wizards are pretty comfortable taking Alex Sarr at 2. With Sarr gone, I'm just going to take. I know they need a big. I just don't want to take Donovan Klingon here. I'm sorry.
I know.
I know they need.
Where is he at on your board right now?
11.
Yeah, he's lower for me. So
that's cool. Yeah, somewhere like 11 or 12 for me. Sorry, let me get it up. Yeah, 11. So it comes down to Klingon or Ricochet. I'm going to take Zachary Ricochet here, and I know they have a lot of wings. I wouldn't mind. I think they could trade Kyle Kuzma pretty easily. I think the Kings have been talking about it and whatnot. I think you can move off of Kuzma, and then you have guys like Deni Avdija, Corey Kispert, Bilal Coulibaly. Obviously, I don't think you can ever have too many athletic wings that can shoot the ball. And Ricochet to me checks those boxes. I would rather have Ricochet than Klingon. So there's Zachary Ricochet to the Wizards at number 2 in our mock draft. Any thoughts there before we move on?
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. It's hard to pick for them just because they do have so many wings. And at the top of this draft, there's not a lot of, for me, there's not a lot of centers. Obviously, like you said, Klingon is high on a lot of people's boards. So I like this pick because I am high on Ricochet, and getting young talent that can develop possibly into a star type player is, it's a good pick regardless. So
yeah. All right, number 3, the Houston Rockets.
This is where we get a little interesting.
There's a player that I think makes the most sense here,
Yeah, I already
but
got it locked in. We're
okay, go
locked in.
ahead.
Yeah, it's Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd's
Okay,
going to the Rockets.
yeah,
You finally get Jalen Green and I mean really everybody else a guy that can shoot. Rockets haven't really been a great shooting team, and with a lot and Reed Shepherd's able to operate off ball, and I feel like you have a lot of guys on the Rockets who are young who need the ball in their hands. Obviously Jalen Green, obviously Amin Thompson, and then you paid Fred VanVleet, so.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think this is a great pick. Reed Shepherd's able to do anything he can off ball and maybe even some on ball stuff going forward. But he's going to be drafted to shoot, and I think this is a great spot for him.
Yeah, I think this is where I think they should just take Reed Shepherd and not even think twice about it. Especially now that they have like Steven Adams and I Alperen Şengün. I don't really want Donovan Clingan. I know there's been talk of them potentially taking Clingan here. I just would rather have Reed Shepherd. The shooting, they badly need that, and so yeah, I like Reed Shepherd here a lot. I think that's a really good pick. Um, Now we're on the clock with the Spurs at
Yeah,
number
think about this
4.
one.
Okay, I'm thinking.
It's tough because a
I'm
lot of
thinking.
people like it's interesting because it was originally like a toe pitch type guy who'd go here, but then
Yeah,
he rips his ACL off.
yeah.
So
Um, I'm just gonna take Stephon Castle
I
and
love that
not
pick.
think too much about it.
Yeah,
I think with the Spurs having the 8th pick, it allows them to swing a bit bigger here at number 4. Whereas honestly, if they didn't have the 8th pick, maybe they trade down, maybe they reach for more of like a sure thing, I guess. Like a Dalton Connect or Rob Dillingham, maybe. But I think at the 4th pick, I have Stephon Castle very high on my board. I think um, his defense immediately translates. I think the passing is good. The only thing I don't love about Castle is the fact that he seems insistent on playing the point guard position. I think he can work his way into being a ball handler. I think if he just plays basketball and it'll come naturally, but ultimately, I think he's just a really good pairing with Wembanyama and their team right now. So
yeah. I mean, I
Stephon
completely
Castle.
agree with that pick. I have Stephon Castle's second on my board right now, and I think that Spurs is a perfect landing spot for him, especially with his defense first mentality. So
Yeah. All right, number 5, the Detroit Pistons. Colin.
this one's brutal because the Pistons are so bad. They desperately need shooting. I'm not super high in Connect. I know a lot of people are. They're also probably going to trade a lot of the roster looking to trade Isaiah Stewart right now. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they trade back in this draft even.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, this is
Let's
tough.
see. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I
Available.
mean, my board does not look like that. So, I mean, you don't need a big. You don't need a. I mean, you need wings, but I don't think
I
Ron
think
Holland's
the
your
one
guy.
thing with the Pistons that has held true every time, like over as even as boards change, as mocks change, everything changes. I still think you need someone who can shoot the ball or you think will be able to shoot the ball.
Right. And to me, like Connect fixed that, but defensively, I don't think he's there. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's going to be dynamic offensively enough.
What about
So I'm just
Amatis
going to take.
Buzelis?
So I'm just going to take the. I was going to say I'm going to take the safe pick, and I'm going
Okay.
to go with Matas Buzelis. That's kind of where he's always been mocked to go. Um, Reed Shepherd to me, if he somehow fell to 5, that would be an incredible
Yeah.
pick for them. But I'm not going to be mad at Matas Buzelis. I think he can develop into a really good player. Does a lot of things really well, and I think defensively he can turn in. He'll be able to develop into something. So
Yeah. I think he's number 6 or 7 on my board. I'm quite high on him. The athleticism gives him a lot of room to grow upward with his trajectory. And like I said, the shooting, he didn't shoot the ball great last year at G League, but he shot the ball pretty well at Sunrise. So you're hoping that he's going to be able to shoot the ball at the next level. It just makes it hard. The Pistons need to go sign somebody who can shoot the basketball. And I
yeah,
think that alleviates a lot of their problems with Cade and Sar and Matas and Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, like trade or do something to where you add shooting because
sign
right now,
some NBA players is what
yeah, there you go.
is what we're asking for.
All right, number 6, I have the Charlotte Hornets. I think in a perfect world, the Charlottes are praying Stephon Castle falls to them,
Mm-hmm.
or Reed Shepherd, I guess, but that did not happen in our draft. So now you have to pivot a little bit here with LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller as I look at those two, like Mark Williams as well, if you want to throw him in there as like the core of young guys that they're building around. And so I'm thinking about going a little bit off the beaten path here, but
Mm.
I'm not sure exactly. Um, for the Hornets at 6, I'm just going to pair them with who I think is a high level scorer here. And I don't know if I'd do this, but give me Dalton Connect to them at 6. Um, I'm not really sure where they go if Castle doesn't fall to them here.
Maybe a Devin Carter.
Yeah, but I think they need an offensive. I don't hate that. Damn, you know what? Give me Devin Carter.
I had to throw his name in there for you to get. I had to give you the
Devin
open the
Carter is
door for
number
you.
4 on my board.
I know,
For
that's why
those
I opened it
wondering,
up for you. That's why I opened
Devin
it up for
Carter
you.
is number 4 on my board. I think he's an incredible basketball player. I don't know if he'll ever go 6 in this draft, but honestly, now that you mention it, like I said, they would love Stephon Castle. Devin Carter is not too far off of Stephon Castle to me. So, I would love this pick. I think Devin Carter is an awesome off player that can play off of LaMelo and play backup point guard minutes, and obviously help out defensively with them. So yeah, give me Devin Carter to the Hornets. Thank you
There
for
we
that
go. Boom,
assist.
boom, boom. All right, this is where we might get a little crazy here. So I'm not high on Donovan Clingan, as everyone knows. But do I really want to open this up?
Now I think this is where if you don't take Klingon here, well,
here's the thing though, Clingan. Well,
okay.
do you know who's
The
5 on my board?
Here are the mocks. So I think like in general, like mock drafts, and this is obviously what you would do if you were the GM. So this doesn't
Yeah,
really
I mean,
matter,
mock
but
drafts
like
have like Klingan or some type of.
Cody Williams, which
See,
is
I
we are
hate Cody
both
Williams
low
too.
on both of those players.
Yeah,
So it's like, all right, if we're not taking those two, then we're
man,
at 7. So it's
yeah,
not, I don't think it's
I mean, who I would. I can't do it, even though I want to. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Khalil Ware. He's
wow.
11 on my board.
That is the pick of the draft. I
He's
like it.
11 on my board. Listen, he obviously has his problems, but I think his
Let's go.
upside. I think his upside is definitely a thing that you want to look at. I have compared to LaMarcus Aldridge, Jarrett Allen is a common one, but I think just in terms of him being an athlete and his fluid shooting and being able to hop into shots is like very enticing to me. And then if he's able to pair that with Scoot with his athleticism, that's good. Obviously, defensively and physicality, he needs to improve a lot, and
Yeah.
that's clearly a thing. But listen, they're not going to be good anytime soon, and I'm not high on any other players. Zach Edey's really high on my board, but I can't willingly do that right now. So we put
You
Khalil Ware
could
up
have.
there.
You could
Could
have.
have, but I'm saving him.
I look. I'm fairly high on Ware as well. I think he's 13th on my board, so I don't hate this pick. Because the upside is there, and honestly, if you're Portland, you kind of need to keep taking upside swings.
Oh yeah,
To a lot of people, that's Cody Williams. To me, I think Khalil Ware is a perfectly fine pick for an upside swing, especially at a position where you're not comfortable with DeAndre Ayton. And now, honestly, you can kind of ease Ware along. You're not trying to win anything crazy this year.
yeah,
And you have the 14th pick, where if you want to take whoever's left, that you like at 14 in this draft, Cody Williams will probably be there at 14. But so it's like, why not take Khalil Ware and be happy with it? So, all right, the Spurs are back on the clock at 8. We have Stephon Castle at 4.
Hmm.
My board. Let me go look at my board real quick. See who's best available. I'm looking between Ron Holland and Rob Dillingham. I think honestly for me, um, I'm gonna take Rob Dillingham. I think he
Oh.
has enough. I don't want Holland because I just feel like they're fine on the wing right now. I just
Mm-hmm.
think they need as much guard help as they can get, like, in
Yeah.
the future, and shooting potential as they can get. If they leave this draft with Stephon Castle and Rob Dillingham, I'm very, very happy. Also, I thought about Dalton Connect just because obviously the shooting potential,
Yeah.
and the scoring potential as well, but, like, in general, shooting is good. Rob Dillingham, I think while the ceiling isn't super high for him, I've said it before, like, I cannot see him being, like, an all-star. I can't see him being, like I think he's a bench guy on a good team. And
Yeah, but like
so
a really high level one.
yeah, like a high level bench guy on a good team. Um, Honestly, if you have Victor Wembanyama, I think that's perfectly fine. And he masked up so many deficiencies. Rob Dillingham shooting, scoring, playmaking as well, which has been kind of undersold. He's been dropping on a lot of big boards. I've kind of held him steady at 8 on mine.
Yeah.
I just think he's a pretty high floor player. Like, you know what his weaknesses are. You know what he can and can't do, and I like what he can do here at 8.
Yeah, I like that pick.
9, Grizzlies. This one,
Grizzlies.
they still need a center.
Yeah, they still need a center. So I think
They
I'm gonna whip it out here.
Is it ED time?
Zach Edey.
It is ED time.
It is Edey time. Listen, I know he's not gonna go this far. He's probably gonna go to the mid-20s, maybe late 20s.
Honestly, he could go at 9 because Klingon will be gone at this point. Like, in real life.
But yeah, I mean, possibly. But I have him. I mean, I have Edey really high on my board. I have him 5th, as we
Yeah.
talked about during our video. It's a player like him goes number 1 or number 2 in the 2004 draft, and I think that is something, and that he's just a freak of nature. Like, there's not ever been a player like him, and there probably won't ever be another prospect like him again. And just because of that alone, and his production in college, especially going up against the likes of Klingon, I think he's gonna be a really good pro in this league. And he has that I guess that wild card factor where he could turn into anything, I think, ceiling wise. So
Yeah. I like this pick. We're both fairly high on ED. Obviously, you have 5. I think I have him at 11 on mine, or 10 on mine, actually. So I think the offensive upside is
mhm.
awesome. Like, if he hits, this is a guy who can just score the ball almost at will.
Yep.
We saw him, like you said, do it against Klingon and UConn at a fairly high rate. We saw him do it against everybody in the country the past 2 years. 2-time National Player of the Year, Zach Edey. I think this is. I don't know if it will happen, but I think it could happen. Well, with the Grizzlies at 9, they need center help really badly. They've been trying to trade up for Klingon. I don't know if they will or not, but yeah. Number 10, the Utah Jazz are in an interesting spot here because they have, like, Lauri Markkanen is the only one I really think is, like, a dude, like,
Yeah.
he's an all-star. But, like, other than that, you go down the list and you're like, they drafted Taylor Hendricks and Keontae George last year. I like that. I like Walker Kessler. John Collins and Colin Sexton are, like, fine players. So you just kind of need to swing a little bit. And with that being the case, they were the worst defense in the league last year. I'm taking Ron Holland and not overthinking. I think he's an awesome defender. I think he has more upside than people are giving him credit for. Now, I've been on record saying I don't believe in the shot. Maybe it gets there. Maybe it gets respectable. He is just can't shoot for anything right now. So I'm not even worried about that because he gets downhill extremely well. A good field player, was like a top 3 player in the country coming out of high school.
Mhm.
I'm really comfortable with Ron Holland here to the Jazz.
Yeah, I wish you didn't take him because I was gonna take him for the Bulls next. But yeah, I love that pick. I love that pick for them. So
All
speaking
right,
of the
the
Bulls,
Bulls, and look
yeah,
at this on Fanspo.
severe.
Severe, low, severe, severe, severe.
Shout out Zach LaVine for making Zach LaVine and DeMar for making
Zach
that
LaVine
move.
and DeMar have held down the shooting guard spot.
Yeah. I think the Bulls finally, what was it, the
They
first
just
trade in two
traded
years? Yeah.
they just traded Caruso for Josh Giddey. Keep that in
I
mind.
hate that trade. So I'm gonna act like I hate that trade as their GM, and I'm gonna take Topic here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Topic here. Obviously, he has his knee problems. I think he has a fairly high ceiling. I am low on him. I mean, he's 10th on my board. 10th on my board.
Yeah.
I mean, low comparative to where he was. But I think they need to, again, like you said, a team that needs to take a swing and just can't keep relying on the vets to just. I mean, they've been the same thing the last 3 years, right? You're trying to get like a play-in/playoff spot,
Yeah.
but you also are really bad. So this is where I'd go. I'd go for high upside, and I think Topic is the pick here.
Yeah, they also, I think, should trade Zach LaVine, and at that point, they will be bottoming out because I think the Spurs get their pick if it's not top. I think it's top 10 protected next year. Their pick, so they need to be in the bottom 10 of the draft next year. So this would make sense to me, especially because I don't think Topic is going to be able to play much next year. So, all right, Oklahoma City on the clock at 12.
What a team!
Man, what a team! In this situation, Klingon is there, and I'm just going to take Donovan Klingon. I just think he is. First of all, this is about where I have him on board. I have him 11th, so I think he's honestly best available. Connect technically is the best available, but I don't think they need him. Klingon, though, we saw. I think Holmgren is a very good rim protector and a very, very good defensive player, but against the Jokic's, the Anthony Davises and so on, like I just think you need a body there that can bang with them. And so I'm going to take Donovan Klingon. And in this spot, I actually love Klingon. Like,
Yeah,
at a place that doesn't need him to hit, I like Klingon quite a bit. My problem is when you draft him in the top 3, you need him to hit, and I'm just not there with him. So
yeah, I completely agree. This is a great situation for him. He's not expected to be the guy offensively or defensively, and he can come in and
yeah.
just do what he's good at. So I
Yep.
completely agree with that pick.
All right, the Sacramento
Kings
Kings.
just re-signed
I
Malik
feel like you
Monk.
got all like the bad teams. Is that just me?
Yeah, maybe
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't
know. All right, they just re-signed Malik Monk. Rip my Pistons, who I wanted them to sign. Man, not a lot of players here that I.
Connect,
You know what?
Salute,
I'd probably go
McCain, Carlton.
I
Trying
think
to
I'd
think.
probably go.
Cody Williams.
No, I think I'm gonna go Tristan da Silva.
Okay.
I think Tristan da Silva. This team isn't looking for Cody Williams. I think is too much as a project for this team. They clearly have the core that they like, especially after signing Malik Monk. And I think Tristan da Silva adds, like he comes in, is able to do what he does, which is shooting. He's able to kind of handle the ball, a good connecting passer, and on defense he gives it his all. So I would take him here.
Yeah, I don't have a problem at all with that. I think in terms of floor, I mean, you've said it before. This is your Jaime Jaquez. So if they're getting Jaime Jaquez, I think that's an awesome pick. And especially with their aspirations to get back to the playoffs. And it seems like they're intent on making moves this offseason to do that. So, yeah, that checks out to me. All right, 14. The Portland Trailblazers are back on the clock. You drafted Khalil Ware at 7 for them. I'm approaching this that they have Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons, and now Khalil Ware as their young core. I'm going to add to that a Dalton Connect. Yeah, I have no problem doing that. No problem adding Dalton Connect to that offense. Ultimately, Scoot Henderson didn't have a great rookie year. He got better as the year went on. But I want as much shooting around him as possible because we know he's at his best when he can get in the paint and just go. Connect, not a great defender, but a competitive rebounder, a competitive player, awesome scoring guard. Not sure how high the ceiling is, but when you have Scoot Henderson and now Khalil Ware, like you can start surrounding them with players that have better feel for the game and that are better scorers, more polished players. So I'm going to take Connect over Cody Williams. I just think if you left with Cody Williams and Khalil Ware, you're kind of like, 2 players that could possibly bust.
Right.
Now I think at the very least Connect, so gonna at least score some points for you.
Right. For sure.
All right, Miami Heat.
Man. Old
Bam,
team.
Jimmy, Tyler. That's I mean, Jaime
I
Jaquez
think,
now.
yeah, I think you got to go. I mean, assuming they don't break it up, which I don't really think they will. I think you got to go with a player who has a fairly high floor. Um, in terms of who I have on my board that has a high floor right now. I mean, oh man, this is tough. I guess I would go
I
with.
mean, do you Jalen Tyson, Jared
I
McCain,
was thinking Jalen
Charles
Tyson.
Carlton,
I was even thinking about
Filipowski?
Filipowski because I have him fairly high. But he doesn't really feel like I feel like. No, actually, I'm gonna go with Filipowski. Yeah, I'll go with Filipowski because they're able to, I think, defensively at the center spot mask what Filipowski kind of has does not well on defense. And I don't even think Filipowski is that terrible of a defender.
Yeah.
He's not a plus defender, but he's not terrible, and he's solid. So I think that he's able to do things offensively that a lot of fours that are 6'10" can't do in this draft. He might be the best at it. So I will go with Flip here.
Kevin Love replacement.
Yeah, there you go. Except yeah, I mean, not Kevin Love yet, maybe. So I haven't comped to Kelly Olynyk, so I guess
Yeah,
that's
Kelly Olynyk replacement
there
from
you go.
however long ago.
Yeah, however long ago that
Played
was.
for the Heat. um, 16 here with the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm just taking mm, uh Lord, they have a lot of wings already. This is difficult.
I know it's starting to
This
the
is
point where it's
difficult. Um, Look, I'm between McCain and Tyson personally. I'm gonna just take Jared McCain. I love him as a shooter so much, and like as just a player. Honestly, I think he's really good. On my board, he is 14.
mm-hmm.
So this would be obviously in that range. ESPN has him at 15. Um, shooting around Joel Embiid is very important, and Jared McCain can do that. Can do that from range as well, and then we'll see if he can round out his game from there. But they have enough pieces to where he's not going to be asked to come in and change the world. But I think he's a really good player, and I would like that at 16.
Yep, I like that pick.
All right, Lakers 17.
God. Bronny James, just kidding. Lakers, I think if they're just going to keep trying to swing for the fences in terms of getting a championship, I think you go with a Jalen Tyson here.
I like that.
I think you
I
go
like
with
that a
Jalen
lot.
Tyson. I think he does everything well, nothing great, but everything well, and I think he's able to defend a little bit as well. Obviously, he's not going to be playing, having the ball in his hands as much, and I don't think he needs to. And if they're going to try to win now, I think he's probably the most well-rounded player left on this board, on my board, I should say. So,
Yeah. How did they not have a picture of him?
well, he's 30th for them, or I guess Fanspo doesn't have it. So, just kidding. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Jalen Tyson, I love him as a player. Where's he on your board?
He is 17 for me.
12th on my board. So
Whew.
love this pick. That's who I would pick as well if I had the Lakers pick. So, all right, Magic 18. This is where I don't know if Topic would fall this far, but like I would like to pick Topic here if I was the Magic. Just because they need
That'd
point
be a
guard help.
tough fall, huh?
Yeah. Because I just think they need kind of point guard help there. Suggs is fine. Paolo's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot, so it's not a huge concern. They do need shooting though, at a fairly like pretty urgently. They need shooting. With that being said, I don't like Furphy. Like I'm not high on Furphy. I'm not high on Walter. I'm not high on Saloon. Honestly, Cody Williams might be the highest player left on my board. Let me check. Bub. Bub's the highest player left on my board, but I don't love Bub here because I think he needs the ball a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna take. Sorry, I'm thinking about this too much. Give me Cody Williams and just take a swing. Just take a swing at somebody. Maybe he turns into Jalen Williams here. But I love Franz Wagner. I love Paulo Banchero. I think Cody's more of a, as it says here, shooting guard. Like I think he's less like honestly, you could in theory, if Cody hits his ceiling, you could go Cody, Paulo, Franz. Like that's a
Yeah.
2 through 4 that can play. That is big, can defend, can just play make at a reasonable rate. So I'm gonna go Cody Williams here at 18 and just kind of take the best player available to
I
me.
think I'd prefer less of a project player for them because I feel like they have a lot of their core already, and it's like how many times do you just keep drafting? I mean, I don't like from your perspective. I get why you made the pick, but I feel like
You got taken Bub?
they've had
Would you
so
have
many.
taken Bub?
No,
Or
because
who would
he's
you have
also
taken?
a project. I'd
Goalie?
probably go like I'd probably be
What
like
I
Jacoby
don't know if there's
Walter or
any
Furphy.
on project here. I mean, unless you go Terrence
Shireman
Shannon.
is way yeah. I mean, Shireman's too low or too far
I'm
reach,
not
but
taking Baylor Shireman at
yeah. I mean,
18.
that's why I was
It
saying it's too
defeats
much
the
of a reach.
purpose of having a top 20 pick, in my opinion. If you draft Tyler Kolek or Baylor Shireman,
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. So it's a tough position to be in for the Magic for sure. Who's next?
Raptors 19.
Raptors 19. This is listen. They can take a swing here. I was thinking about between two here. I think I'm gonna go with Saloon here. Saloon is lower on our boards. It's ninth for ESPN, but I think you just gotta go for high upside here. Raptors are finally doing what they should have done a couple of years ago. And listen, I'm not super high on Saloon, but that's not to say that he can't become something really good. And I think the shooting it shows, and
Mhm.
he has the body. He has the NBA body.
Yep.
So I like this. I like this pick here.
Yeah, I have him at 24 on my board, which obviously is low compared to ESPN and everybody. The body is what you can bet on. It's just like he has the tools physically to play in the NBA. And honestly, he probably has the jump shot in about 2 years to play in the NBA. So
Yeah.
can everything else come together? Maybe. I like this pick for the Raptors. That's what I would do as well. Cleveland Cavaliers at 20. This is where we can just really start just going off the rails and
Going
just pick whoever the
crazy.
hell we
Yeah.
want. Garland Mitchell doesn't seem to be the preferred. Honestly, between that and it seems like maybe they trade Jared Allen. They're looking to shake things up. So with that being said, I'm just gonna take the best player on my board is Bub Carrington. I'm taking Bub and just hoping that with his kind of late growth spurt, he can become even better than what he is. And I already think pretty highly of him in terms of his feel for the game and his shooting, his pull-up shooting ability, and passing, and just overall playmaking as a 19-year-old. So I like Bub. I'm just gonna take him and just throw him in the mix and see what happens with my veterans.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. Pelicans. You know what? I think they take Deron Holmes from Dayton.
I like that.
I don't
Okay.
know where he is on ESPN. Jesus Christ.
They hate him. They hate him. He's
Wow.
on
I have him
39
I
ESPN.
have him 21st with
Golly, I have
Spy.
him 20. Yeah, I'm 19 on my
That's
board.
crazy, actually. No, wow. I think he's like a Swiss Army knife guy, and I honestly think that fits very perfect for the Pelicans, especially because that's kind of how I feel like, build their roster. They get a lot of guys that do a lot of things well. And his shooting, I really believe in his shooting, and defensively, I think he's a really good shot blocker. Obviously, he needs to work on his body a little bit and his frame, but does well screening, is a do-it-all type of player, and I think he can play in a variety of ways and fit into a variety of systems. So,
Yeah, I think there's been reports of them trying to trade up or trade for a center of some sort. Like Jared, I don't know if they were the Jared Allen team, but like there have been teams where, like in theory,
yeah,
they're looking for a center. I don't know if Holmes checks that box, but like they don't need. He's not going to start for them either way. Like even if he was
right.
16. So, but I do like that. All right, the Suns at 22. Talk
Hmm.
about a team that needs a player to play immediately. Um, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, maybe Yusuf Nurkic, and then a bunch of non-NBA players. No disrespect. Obviously, they are all actually NBA players, but Give me Tyler Smith. Just give me Tyler Smith. Just give me Tyler Smith.
God, I hate that.
Yeah. I think he shoots the heck out the ball. He's my best player available. And honestly, if he shoots the ball 36% from three early in his career, I think he sticks and he's a very good player.
Wow.
There you go.
Shock at 22 for them. Just kidding. Bucks. All right.
Bucks at 23.
Who's your backup point guard? I don't remember.
Goran Dragic.
All right, we're taking Tyler Kolek.
Yeah.
I love Tyler Kolek. I think he can be a starting point guard in the league. I obviously he's not projected to go that by a lot of people, but I think he actually is. My comp is Goran Dragic, so there you go. He can be with him, I guess. But no, he's a guy that completely plays with his heart on his sleeve, and the Bucks. I mean, he's a guard that can come in and do everything if I think he works out how I think he will. And he might be a little small, but he finishes well. He can shoot the heck out of the ball, and he's clutch, and he hustles. And yeah, I think this is a good pick for the Bucks. He's 22 on my board, I think. 22, yeah.
Nice. 24 to the Knicks, back-to-back picks here at 24 and 25. So I have to kind of keep that in mind. Throw the lob up. I'm just gonna take. When you think of New York, you think of like a tough team. Honestly, I kind of want a little bit more shooting for them. Yeah, I'm taking Jacoby Walter and just being happy with that. Like, I have him low on my board, but this is another situation where I honestly like the fit.
Mm-hmm.
And the lower we go in the draft, Jacoby Walter makes more sense to me. So, like, ball dominant Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart's not a shooter. He's more like a, rebounder guy. They will add Bogdanovich last year, who was hurt for the playoffs. Like, they were just decimated by injuries, obviously. But, like, you got Jacoby Walter, shooter. I'm happy with it. I think that's a pretty high. It's a swing for a rotation player in 2 years, and I'm cool with that.
I wish you picked somebody else because now I don't know if I can pick Terrence Shannon, but I think I'm still going to pick Terrence Shannon.
I would probably still pick Terrence Shannon.
Because then he can be the guy that you hope comes in is able to still.
I mean, hold on. Let's talk through this. Let's talk through this.
Okay.
If Isaiah Hartenstein leaves in free agency,
what do you want? Do you want to get Yves Misty?
Yves Misty?
See, I'm not
him, honestly.
I'm not high on. I have neither of them in my.
We're at the 26th pick.
I know, but
they're not in your top 30. Like Yves not in your
neither
top 30?
of them in my top 30.
Sheesh, tough crowd.
Baylor Shireman? Terrence Shannon.
Another shooter.
Terrence Shannon.
All right, I like it.
Obviously, older, hoping come in, shoot right away while Walter develops, or if they get injured again, who knows?
Yeah. All right. Washington Wizards, 26th pick. Already have Zachary Risache. Hell, I'll take even Steve's here. There you go.
Boom.
Locked in. Who needs Alex Sarr? We got Alex Sarr at home. We got Alex Sarr at home. Even C. There he is.
That's crazy.
Very good defender. The defensive upside is really high. I think he's still pretty raw. I have him 24, something like that on my board. 26 on my board. But which is perfect. 26 pick. Yeah, defensively, I think he's also a pretty fun rim runner. Like, this is what the Wizards need. They need paint defense desperately, and since we didn't take that initially, we'll take it here.
I like that pick.
Timberwolves, 27.
All right. I am going to reach away from my board and draft Baylor Shireman here. I think he's not going to be able to defend at a high level, but I think he's able to rebound at a high level, and I think that'll help out. Obviously, he can shoot the ball. There are questions on whether that range extends much further than the NBA three-point line, but he can play make, shoot the ball, and he's a smart player. I think this is a good pick for a team that wants to make the playoffs, obviously, again, and get to the finals.
All right, this Baylor Shireman. Next, the Nuggets at 28th. I will say a lot of people have had Jalen Tyson going here, and I would love that to the
Mm.
Nuggets. Obviously he came off a lot earlier on our board. Hmm. Hmm. Kind of think they need a couple things. I think they do need like a backup five. I think they also need a point guard to help out Jamal Murray at times. So with that being said, I'm looking at let me go look at my board real quick, see who's available. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm gonna take my best player available. I'm just gonna take Isaiah Collier and roll with that rim pressure guard that he's not the best playmaker, I wouldn't say, but I think he is someone you add to the Nuggets. And while he is young, I honestly think he sets up really nicely next to Jamal Murray and behind Jamal Murray in terms of a guy who can kind of create his own shot. Like that's valuable. And I think that's what they need. So I was thinking about like maybe I don't know, like yeah, no. I thought maybe about like Jamal Shed, but that's kind of high. Like I would just take Collier and just because I think Collier has a higher ceiling, so I'm gonna take that.
Okay. All right, we're back to the the Jazz have this pick?
The Jazz.
I forgot Oklahoma City's in this pick. Oh, this
Oh my
changes
god,
things. This
this
changes
changes
things.
everything.
It
Ron
does
Hollingsworth
actually.
with the 10th pick.
I was gonna pick Ryan Dunn for the OKC Thunder, but that's not happening anymore because I don't think Jazz should take him. I think
Imagine getting Holland and Dunn in your draft. You're going from the worst defense in the
you'd
league
be
to
like
the
pretty
best.
happy about like the defensive side, and then you'd be like, oh,
Oh, we can't
uh,
score. We
yeah.
can't score the
I'm
ball.
gonna go
Shoot.
with you know, they're in a weird spot, and I know I
Think what
want to
I'm
do Cam
thinking? You
Christie,
think what I'm
but
thinking?
I'm gonna go with Cam Christie. I was thinking maybe I'd do the whole thing and try to talk up Jurisic, but we're gonna go with Cam Christie.
Oh,
We're gonna go with Cam Christie here.
okay. All right.
Guy that can fill it up from the
Yeah.
3-point line, has a really good mid-range jumper as well as able to kind of stop and pop. Obviously needs to develop his frame a bit and a little bit more on defense, but I think this is a good pick here for the Jazz.
Love this pick for the Jazz. If they leave with Holland and Cam Christie, I'm 2 thumbs up from me. All right, last pick, the Celtics, number 30. What else do they need? Jeez. We've talked about before. I mean, the versatility is what just won them the championship. Guys that can do really can play both sides of the ball. I think that's the top priority. I'm gonna take a swing on somebody. I'm trying to figure out who that is gonna be. Um,
I honestly like Jamal Shed here.
I was thinking Jamal Shed too. I will say I have Kashad Johnson. I'm gonna send you to go watch his stuff.
Good.
Fun player.
Mm.
Yes, I have him relatively high on my board.
Bronny James, maybe get
Jurisic,
LeBron. I don't think
Spencer.
Cam Spencer would be a good one.
Ooh,
Cam Spencer would be a good one.
give me Jamal Shed and let's just roll
Yeah,
with
I feel
another
like he's like the most ready, and
dog
he's just gonna
defensive
be a dog.
player.
Yeah.
Just a dog defensive player. So, uh, yeah, Jamal Shed. For those who don't know about him, an incredible defender. I have him as the second best defender in this draft. Colin has him fifth. The 3-point shooting is concerning. Hopefully, he can get to I mean, he's already respectable, but maybe you get to a 33, 34, 35% level in his career. But yeah, defensively, he's awesome. He's also a really good playmaker, gets feet in the paint. Like it's what the Celtics do. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Jamal Shed there. And there you have it. There's our draft. Let me zoom out a little bit, actually. Try to fit in even more. A
So I
little,
guess
an interesting one here. Like
yeah,
ultimately, Khalil Ware at 7. Interesting.
Zach Edey at 9 is crazy too,
I
compared
don't
to the
think that's
consensus.
that. I don't think that's that crazy. I
I
think
think it's
Ware's Carter at 6 is not going to happen. Like I don't think.
yeah.
But honestly, I would love it for them. De Silva, no, that's fine. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think anything's too crazy here. Tyler Smith at 22, maybe a little bit of a stretch, but I just like Tyler Smith a lot.
I feel like Tyler Kolek. at 22 might be a little crazy for
No,
some people.
that's about the range. Um, yeah, so I think we did a pretty good job, honestly.
A couple notable players left out: Johnny Furphy, Ryan Dunn. I mean, I guess
Let's
those are
see.
the only two really off my board.
Dunn is the highest player available on my board. Dunn, Keyshawn George, Pacome Dadier, Adem Bona, Nikola Jurisic. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what we're
I
looking
have
at.
4 players that didn't get picked: Ryan Dunn, Dadier, Furphy, and Jurisic.
I've kind of come around on this being a 2-day draft. Like I've
Really?
kind of come around because after round 1, it's gonna be like, all right, what's
Yeah,
round 2 looking like? What are we
yeah,
doing here? And it kind of gives you another, like most people just turn the draft off after round 1, I feel like. And
that's
now
true.
like people can still turn the draft off and not watch day 2, but like for people who really want to watch day 2, like us, we were just uploading videos during round 2.
Yeah.
Like people are just like, oh, just mute it, whatever. If people actually want to watch it, you can actually watch it.
Plus, now you can get excited about the players that are left or the people that did fall into the second
Yeah.
round.
It
So
does
that's
build up more anticipation for them too. Like that's definitely a thing, even if it doesn't ultimately result in them actually being good players. But regardless, that's all we got for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the mock draft. We'll be back with the big board coming up tomorrow, so check that out as well. And we will talk to y'all later.